Carli! Catch! Oh, fuck. Oh my god, I'm sorry. Sorry.
Comedy is as subjective as it gets, so if you are really offended by that, then this show and video might not be for you. But if you laughed, even if it was the kind of laugh where you try your hardest not to laugh, but you do anyway and feel bad for laughing at something terrible, but recognize you're laughing because the joke itself is genius, then keep watching.
I've got a receipt! I've got a receipt!
When it comes to movies, my favorites are the ones I can usually relate to in some way. They're usually coming of age, aka the favorite genre of pussies. But hey, they're my favorite genre too, so if you feel offended, I got you. I'm a pussy as well. It's why I love films like Brigsby Bear and Superbad and The Way Back and pretty much most of Linklater's filmography. Huge emphasis on the most right there. When it comes to TV, I used to really love that too. I probably wouldn't have made a YouTube channel talking about filmmaking if I never decided to watch Lost. I never would have witnessed the definitive way to develop a character if I never checked out Breaking Bad. And I would never have been the hype me up person for Game of Thrones way before it became the worldwide phenomenon it is today if I hadn't binged the first 2 seasons when I had the flu. And while I love these 3 so much and so many other shows that have come and gone, I was always waiting for a show to hit me like my favorite movies did. The one show that would make me want to watch it over and over and over again and bring me back to a moment in time that I was feeling nostalgic about. But that wait ended when I finally sat down with my closest friends who I grew up with when we binged the entirety of the Inbetweeners back in 2014. I fucking adore this show to an absurd degree. I consider it a weird time capsule filled with my emotions of when I was a teenager, and then turning those emotions into British versions of me and my friends and the types of situations and stories that we would constantly be thrown into. Now, if you're British, you already know what the show is about, but if you're from America like myself, right now you're probably asking yourself, what the fuck is an Inbetweener? Well, the premise of the show is super simple. William McKenzie is a new student at this local public school right outside of London. He gets bullied, becomes friends with a pretty average group of people, and that's essentially the entire plot, and that happens for 18 episodes, and a ton of comedic genius occurs over those 18 episodes. If you've never seen the show, imagine a much more realistic version of what a John Hughes movie is trying to be, and that is exactly what the Inbetweeners is. And if you are American, it's really easy to get into once you transcribe some of the slang.
Boy, my dad's not bent.
Why is he paying for rent, boys, then?
He's not.
Well, they're giving freebies. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm heading home.
To wank over your mum's bras?
Well, actually, my mum. Probably not. You still wet the bed when you were 10.
Yeah, I wet your mum's bed with my spunk.
So the entire show contains 3 seasons, and each season has 6 episodes that last 20 minutes long. So yes, this 18 episode, roughly 6-hour long experience is my favorite show of all time. But you might ask, how could something that is the length of only 6 Game of Thrones episodes be better than Game of Thrones in my book? To make this perfectly fucking clear, because people tend to get confused, a favorite is different from an objectively best thing, even though I do think both of these are objectively great things. I don't think Game of Thrones is a worse show. I think it's a more well-made show than the Inbetweeners. There's that difference of what the best show is and what a favorite show is for somebody, and while a lot of times those best shows or best movies end up on your favorites list, I think a lot of people forget about that and don't talk about their personal favorite pieces of entertainment as much as they should. So for me, the Inbetweeners isn't the most well-made show of all time, but it reminds me of me and my friends in a very specific time period of our lives, and every time I watch any episode, I feel like I'm jumping into a time machine and reliving some of my favorite teenage memories. And this is the connection that not only I have with the show, but 90% of the people that end up watching it. It doesn't matter if you're not a guy. I sat down recently and watched the entire thing with my sister, and she absolutely loved it. A big reason people love it is because they don't restrain themselves from cursing or being offensive at all. Because let's be real, unless you were super self-conscious about yourself in high school, nobody ever gave a shit about most of the stuff nobody gives a shit about in this entire series. They say and do what they want when they want to do it, and you feel like just yelling "thank you" at the top of your lungs because you finally found someone that has the balls to write genuine teenage boy humor. And it's not just for the jokes. Every single subtlety of the dialogue is absolutely perfect. And 90% of the dialogue comes from one of the 4 main characters of the show. You have Will, who's the one that narrates the show. He's probably the main character if you you had to pick one of the four. And he's the most preppy, nerdy kid in the group.
Feisty one you are.
What?
Feisty one you are.
Why are you talking like that?
It was Yoda from Star Wars. It's the same impression I was doing on the coach for about an hour.
Oh, was that what that was? Oh, good. I thought you might, have a problem.
You have Simon, who's obsessed with the same girl throughout the entire show and tends to be completely oblivious to his surroundings.
Hello? Hello, this is Mrs. Cooper. Simon has found winning the real women thing. Thank you, goodbye.
Mrs. Cooper?
Yeah?
What exactly is wrong with Simon?
Food poisoning.
Okay, Simon.
That's enough. I know you're bullshitting me.
I think you better get into school.
Cheers, all the best. God
Simon,
bless.
I'd get in before you make things...
Well, that was fucking dreadful. I think he bought it, though.
There's Jay, who is constantly spewing these ludicrous bullshit lies to everybody, and he hits the point that you actually think that he starts to believe his own lies.
So I had one bent over the table here. There was one up here I was fingering, and I was just toe fucking the one on the floor.
And then there's Neil, the fucking dumbass of the group. But he's that really lovable dumbass that takes everything literally.
Come on, let's go. This place is cursed. Oh my God, it's haunted. No, Neil.
Well, it might be. Like one of those ghost stories, like Harry Potter or the Bible.
And I know what you're thinking, all four of these characters are just the most basic, stereotypical high school guys of all time. But this is the biggest example of why execution is 95% more important than coming up with a clever idea for something. Because these four right here are the most perfectly written versions of their stereotypes I have ever seen. Period. A big part of this is because you know someone in your personal life that has the subtleties of Will, and you know someone that tells the lies of Jay, and you know someone that is just as dumb as Neil. And the way you find out each character is perfect is because when you ask yourself, wait, who's my favorite character on the show? You can't really pick an answer. Ask any Inbetweeners fan and they might give you an answer after like 2 minutes of thinking about who their favorite would be, because all four of them constantly have moments to shine throughout the show. Their acting is perfect. Everything down to the facial reactions to situations going on within the world are flawless. It's the same reason Dazed and Confused is my favorite film of all time, because I love characters that feel like real people. And not only do they feel like real people, but they feel like your friends. And maybe that is where the personal bias comes in, since me and my friends quote the show that represents incarnations of ourselves on pretty much a daily basis. But in my book, stuff like that is what makes a favorite a favorite. I love how there's never a single episode that goes too far out of the realm of reality, except the second movie, which we will not be discussing in this video because it never happened. It never ruined the perfect streak the Inbetweeners had. Every single situation the gang is thrown into is hilarious yet realistic at the same time, making it feel like a more immature British teenage version of Curb Your Enthusiasm, which, if I'm being honest, is probably my second favorite comedy behind this one. There are a ton of situations that happen in the show that happen to me and my group of friends in real life, and some are so spot on they're too fucking embarrassing to share with you in this video.
I know better than anyone that my penis isn't fucking working.
It's okay.
It's not fucking okay. It's not okay. Why don't you start? Every time I don't want one, it's there, and yet the one time I actually need it, nothing.
Okay, you're scaring me now.
Just work, you stupid fucking thing. Get big!
Yup, that totally did not happen to me at any point. But stuff like this is what makes the show genuine, and that's what makes the show amazing. There's not really any epic type of episodes where something wacky and insane happens to the guys. Pretty much every episode's follow the guys doing things that every teenage guy has done at some point, like skipping school with their friends or getting high for the first time. They saved that epic getaway for the movie, making it a fitting, relatable send-off for anyone that has gone on any sort of senior trip with their friends before going away to school. And that's another reason I love this show, because it not only nails the comedy, but also knows how to perfectly implement emotion subtly throughout the series. The example I always go to is this scene in the film that happens right outside the hotel.
I was going to use my granddad's money to set us up in business, selling car stereos to Premiership footballers. Neil was going to work in the depot, but me, you and Rio Ferdinand are on sales, like having a laugh and that.
Oh, right. Yeah, I'm going to do sociology. Fuck.
because it's conversations like this that help keep the comedy grounded and make it feel like a coming of age story. It's conversations like this that make me reflect on not only the golden age of hanging out with my closest friends, but also how life is constantly throwing everyone down different paths, and that your teenage years are such a pillar of most of our lives, even though some people naturally grow apart as the years go on. And I've tried making a video 4 times over the past month about the Inbetweeners, but I scrapped it every single time because I just wasn't sure if I could fit all my feelings about the series in one video. And honestly, as I'm sitting here doing this for the 5th time, I still can't seem to put it into words and truly tell you how much it means to me. It's a piece of entertainment that transcends just being a piece of entertainment for me. I can quote 70% of the dialogue throughout the entire show for you. I constantly struggle in terms of deciding what my favorite episode is, and if I even attempted to make a top 10 Inbetweeners scenes list, it would be harder than making a top 10 movies of all time list. I don't make video essays. I'm not here to teach you a lesson or talk about how the characters are a manifestation of adolescence. I'm here to talk about the entertainment that I love, the entertainment that I hate, and the entertainment like this that inspires my own filmmaking habits. I could fill the rest of this video up with some of my favorite quotes, but I would rather not spoil that for you so you can experience the entire series for yourself. I've recommended the show to so many people, and every time someone actually goes through with it, they always thank me for it. To me, there may never be another comedy series that even comes close to touching it. And if you do tend to trust my opinion at least, and I hope that's the case if you're subscribed to my channel, then don't watch the next YouTube video. Go check out this show. It's on Netflix, and who knows, maybe it'll become one of your favorite shows too.
Fine! Fucking fine! I'll just get on and sit at the front next to these inconsiderate arseholes.
I'm the worst human being in the world.